So you're thinking about making a move to the beautiful and sunny Phoenix, Arizona area, and you want to know what are the pros and cons about living in one of the cities that most people actually do not know about, and that is Gold Canyon. Gold Canyon is one of my favorite areas in the entire Phoenix Valley, and I'm so excited to tell you in this video what the pros and the cons are about actually living here in Gold Canyon. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's roll right into it. The number one reason and the best reason to live out here in Gold Canyon is gonna be right behind me. Like, these mountain views are absolutely spectacular. And that's honestly one of the best parts about Gold Canyon, is that these are all the Superstition Mountains, and you are right at the base of it. So honestly, pretty much no matter where you live in Gold Canyon itself, you are always going to get mountain views everywhere. You know, my sister, she lives out in Denver, Colorado, and she can see the mountains, but you know, they're an hour and a half away. If you live here in Gold Canyon, they are literally right behind you, as you can see in this video. So it is absolutely beautiful. And you know, the other nice thing about having the mountain views right behind you is that you just get all this like desert area as well. So right now I'm walking around a neighborhood and this is their backyard. Like, imagine every morning if you lived in this house right here. Imagine having your coffee and out right behind you and seeing those mountain views. So that is the number one reason. It's one of the best reasons about moving to Gold Canyon is the mountain views. Now, one of the downsides about living out here in Gold Canyon is that there's so many snowbirds that come into town. You know, Gold Canyon, we'll talk about it in one of our pros actually, but it's a little bit smaller of a town. You know, you're on the outskirts of the Phoenix area, but there are so many snowbirds that come into town. So what does that mean for actually living here, right? Why is that a con? When you go to the grocery store, it's gonna be busier. When you wanna play golf, there's about 4 golf courses here. They're always gonna be way more busy here in the winter. Now, on the flip side, and one of the good reasons about it, is that in the summer you can play all over and there's not gonna be anybody out here. So twisting a con into a pro, but if you are moving out here, that is definitely one thing you absolutely must consider, is that in the wintertime there are a ton of, you know, snowbirds that come down and live here in the Gold Canyon for literally the reasons of the first one. Like, the mountain views are just spectacular. So that is the main reason why Gold Canyon gets so many winter visitors. Now, the second pro is one of the best reasons and why most people live out here, and this is why I want to live out here one day once I retire, is it is so quiet out here. I mean, I'm on like more of kind of like the more remote side of Gold Canyon right now, so it's a little bit, you know, off of the highway, but there is nobody. I've been out here for about 10 to 15 minutes, and there's been one car that's driven by. There's not been one person that I've seen. It is so quiet up here in Gold Canyon. So if you are moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and you want an area that is super quiet and super pretty, and you just get that kind of small town feel, Gold Canyon is absolutely going to be one of the places that I recommend looking for those reasons. It's so quiet, it's so peaceful, and you really can just live, you know, your best life here in the Sonoran Desert and just soak up the sun and stare at the mountains all day. That's what most people do that when they live here, and I cannot blame them because it is so amazing here. So it is definitely, it's so quiet. You're not gonna get those loud mufflers, you know, or anything like that here in Gold Canyon. Now, one thing I will say is that if you're on the southern half, so Highway 60, it's a major freeway that comes in and out. Yes, that can get a little bit louder. So if you are living on the south side of Gold Canyon, you might hear a little bit noise, but at night, again, it just gets super, super quiet here in Gold Canyon. So definitely one of the best parts about living here. Now, one of the cons about, you know, Gold Canyon is that it is further out. So, you know, you're probably about, let's call it an hour just to be safe, you know, from like downtown and the airport area. So, and that's Sky Harbor. Now, one nice thing, so I just had some clients that decided to move out to the Gold Canyon area, and they live in Fargo, North Dakota. In Fargo, they can get a direct flight into Mesa Gateway. So that's only about 20 minutes from here. So there are, you know, yes, it is further out, but you know, if you're living in downtown Phoenix or you like to go to Cardinals games, I would definitely not recommend living out here just because of how far it is. You know, it's an hour at least, and that's without traffic, right? The nice thing is that it's so far, you're gonna get a lot of windshield time. If you need to work downtown or if you work up in like northern Scottsdale, Gold Canyon is probably not gonna be the place for you just of how far out it is. And one thing to consider too, you know, it is a smaller town here. So if you need like, you know, big time like medical stuff, like, you know, you're always going to hospitals or something like that, Gold Canyon probably is not going to be the place for you for that same exact reason that you have to drive all the way into, you know, the eastern side of Mesa or Apache Junction. Now, that's only about 15 to 20 minutes, so if you like to be a little bit more remote, it might not be as big of a deal for you. But if you need that stuff every single day and you're always going to doctors, Gold Canyon might not be the place for you just based on the location of how far outside of Phoenix it is. Now, moving on to our third pro. And before we get there, guys, if you like this video so far, make sure you like it and comment down below. What do you know about Gold Canyon? Or, what would excite you most about potentially making a move here? And guys, my name is Eric. I help people every single day, just like you, that are thinking about making their move to Phoenix. So if that's you, pause the video. We love hearing from you and seeing how we can help you make your move to the beautiful and sunny Phoenix, Arizona area. I moved from Nebraska in the cold, dark winters of the Midwest, and I moved down here to Phoenix, and I absolutely love it down here. It's changed my life, so I want to help you change yours. So if you're thinking about making a move, pause the video and reach out to us. Our contact information is down below. Now, the third pro about one of the best parts about the Gold Canyon area is that you are in a small town. So the population, there's only about 12,000 people that full-time live here. In the wintertime, it probably somewhere doubles. There's not exact statistics on it. So it's somewhere doubles, so it gets a little bit busier. But overall, you're living in a nice, small, quiet town. Some people don't like that, but especially as I get older, I can definitely see ourselves moving out here. It's so quiet. I just keep talking about the quiet in the mountains, but that is such a huge part of why you move out to Gold Canyon, and one of the #1 reasons that people do move out here. But you get that small town feel, like when you go to the grocery store, or you're pumping gas, or just walking or biking along. You always, everybody waves, they say hi to your neighbors, so you really get that small town feel. Everybody's in it together, and we're all living their best lives out here in Gold Canyon. So definitely a pro is living here in a small town out in Gold Canyon. Now, one of the cons about living out in Gold Canyon, it's not really targeted and geared towards like younger families. So niche.com is going to agree with me. They have the school system as about a C. So, and again, that's niche.com, and that's their opinion. You're definitely, I recommend looking more into it in your own. But I would agree in just the fact that Gold Canyon really isn't designed as much for families that are moving in here. You don't get as many of the parks that a lot of my clients that have families are looking for, right? Or just some of the playground and stuff to do. So it's definitely a little bit older of a population, but you can still raise kids here. There's still good schools, right? It's not like they're absolutely terrible. They're not teaching the kids anything. It's just niche.com has them rated a little bit lower. So definitely something to keep in mind. If you're moving out here, the Gilbert and Chandler area, according to niche.com, have a little bit higher school rating. So that might be something to check out. But again, if you want to move out to a small town where you have amazing views, Gold Canyon is definitely going to be the spot. Now, if you are a golfer like me and you love to play, especially all year round, Gold Canyon is definitely going to be one of the best spots for you to live. They have 2 absolutely amazing public courses, and that is at the Gold Canyon Resort. They have Sidewinder, and they also have Dinosaur Mountain. And the Dinosaur Mountain actually is just right behind me here, and it is a really, really, really good course. The views are absolutely spectacular. And Sidewinder, you still get these views, but not quite as drastic of like the elevation changes. So if you have to pick between the two, Dinosaur Mountain's probably gonna be a little bit better, but it's so nice that you have literally these courses right in your backyard. So definitely one of the best parts about being here in the Gold Canyon area is that you have these 2 courses here as well. They also have the Mountain Brook area, or the Mountain Brook Golf Club, and then across the street they have the Gold Canyon RV. They have a golf course over there as well. So plenty of courses to play, if you're living here in the Gold Canyon area. Now, one nice thing too is that if you just go a little bit further west, you have the Apache Creek Golf Club, I believe the name is. I played it on my birthday, like right when we moved down here, but I have not played it since, so I cannot actually remember the name of it right now. But it's a really cool course. They got an island green in the middle of the desert. You have a ton of golf course options right here in the Gold Canyon area. So if you're a big golfer, this is gonna be a city I highly recommend you checking out. Now, this con is probably going to surprise you. So the Gold Canyon area, every single February, in the early part of February, they host what's called the Renaissance Festival. And it is like a medieval festival. They got like fried, turkey legs and all that jazz. I think of like Role Models, I think is the movie. I've never been to it. I've heard it's amazing, but why is that a con? Why would that be a bad part about living out here in Gold Canyon? Because the traffic is an absolute nightmare when that is going on. Because Highway 60, it's just 2 lanes. And so the Renaissance Festival is at like the eastern part of the city. And when that is going on, it's crazy getting in and out of here. So, it's really, really quiet. Like once you're up here in like the Gold Canyon area, right? But getting in and out during the first couple weeks in February, it can be really, there's so much traffic. There's over 250,000 people that attend this festival every year. So it's really, really popular, and it's definitely something I want to check out eventually. But why is it a con? Just of, you have to be aware of it when you're coming in and out of Gold Canyon. If you're here and you never leave, it'd be perfect. You probably won't really notice it that much. But if you're driving into Phoenix every single day, it's gonna be a major con. And again, that's for about 2 to 3 weeks in the first part of February. So a con is living out here in Gold Canyon is the Renaissance Festival and some of the traffic that brings. Again, guys, this is going to be our last pro and our last con. So again, if you like this video, make sure you click the like button and comment down below. And if you like our content, in this channel, we cover everything there is to know about moving to Phoenix, Arizona. So if you like this content, go check out our other videos, and more so, click the subscribe button. That way we know and you're alerted of any new content that comes around moving to the Phoenix, Arizona area. So one of the best parts about living in Gold Canyon is just the access to, hiking, and there's a ton of bike trails all throughout. It's a very, very active community. So every time that I drive through the Gold Canyon area, there's always people biking, there's always people walking. Even when it's 105 out, it's just a very, very active go-getter community. And how could you not be if this is your views every single day, I think every time I come out here, like, I want to go hike, I want to strap on my camelback and go climb up to the top of Flatiron. So it's definitely a very, very active community between golf, hiking, biking. I just pulled over off on the side of a road, and now I'm on a hiking trail, right? So this is all throughout Gold Canyon. There's amazing hiking here, and you have the superstitions right behind you. So if you are a hiker, you got to get all the way to that point. That's called the Flatiron Trail, and it is a dog. It's amazing. It's like a 6 to 7 hour hike. It's crazy. So if you are a big hiker, you definitely got to go up and do Sidewinder. But definitely one of the best parts about living in Gold Canyon is just the access to all hiking and all the biking trails, and it's just an overall very active community. Our last con, this one probably will not surprise you, but look, there's desert everywhere, right? You're not really living in like a major city, right? You're out in a small town, you're out in the desert, so there's going to be a lot of desert animals, right? You got bobcats, coyotes, snakes, scorpions, you got all that stuff out here. Now, are they gonna be, like, this house might have to worry about it a little more just with how close, that house is actually huge, just with how close they are to the desert. But if you're in a neighborhood, you don't have to worry about it as much. But just know there's constant bobcat sightings, there's constant coyote sightings. And why would that be a con? Especially if you have like little animals like small cats or small dogs, you want to, especially at night, you want to make sure that you're either always with them or you're paying attention, watching them, while they're going outside at night. Because I've heard horror stories about the coyotes will come, jump the fence, grab them, and you never see them again. So it's terrible, but it's definitely something that you absolutely need to know about if you're living out here in Gold Canyon. So guys, that wraps up our list of pros and cons. Overall, Gold Canyon is one of the best areas in the entire Phoenix Valley to live. Like I said earlier in the video, I can't wait to one day, move out here once I'm not driving all over the Phoenix Valley, helping people, like you guys, get into homes. And honestly, my favorite part is just the mountain views. Like, where else do you get this for your backyard? So Gold Canyon is an amazing spot, guys. And if you need help making your move to the Gold Canyon area, guys, again, pause the video. Our contact information is down below. So again, if you like this video, click the like button, comment down below. I want to know your thoughts, and stay tuned for other videos. And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.